Well, hello and welcome. I'm Sue Britz,
And I'm Tina Lokkbakk. Welcome to Retired,
the podcast where we talk about what life is like when we put on new tread, new wheels that move us to our next adventure. Pets and retirement.
I don't know how adventurous it is, but it is adventurous at the same time.
Well, I think there's a lot tied to this, really. I mean,
It's a big topic.
every time you get a pet, it is an adventure because you're choosing over and over again to be a parent. Okay. I don't believe in
It is.
I'm not a parent to my pet. My pet is my pet, but you are choosing to prioritize this other life, oftentimes over your own or centered
Yep.
around your own. And it's a big adventure. It's a huge adventure.
This follows up with our previous episode on rhetoric because it's kind of a way of shaping the story. So you can use the word adventure, but you could also use the word, let's say, limitation. It's all how you choose to see it. Is it an adventure or a limitation?
Well, I don't think in pets and retirement, people should not choose a pet to limit themselves. The whole idea is the pet's going to open up your world and provide you with all these wonderful emotional, social health benefits that you get by having a loved one, taking care of a loved one, caring about them, and all of that brings.
But I think when I'm out there speaking to people who are in the serious stages of retirement, they see it as the limitation. I'm
It's
learning
true.
more and more
I
people
hear
see it
you.
as a limitation, not an adventure. So I love that you're framing it that way because what I'm saying is I think you have a healthier perspective in going into having a pet at this time
Okay, I hear
versus many
you.
people are not.
I hear you. So it depends on where you are in retirement. So if you've retired and you're starting a new adventure, and like a new job like you're doing, this is a lot to take on an animal, to have a pet with you. That's very difficult. Retirement, as in you're not working anymore, then it depends on what you want to do. It depends on
Correct.
your where your direction is. If you're wanting to go out and venture into the world, and
Correct.
you can't bring your pet along with you, then that
Not
would be
easily.
limiting. So you got to find a solution for that. And there are solutions. It's tough though,
There
but
are.
you can find other retired people to help you with that too. It's like, I'll take care of
Oh,
yours, you
that's a
take
good
care of mine.
idea.
It's a win-win-win for you, them, and the pet themselves, you know? That's what people should do is trade out pets.
Oh my gosh, that it's funny. I'm going to go back into my stay-at-home years, and a lot of people wanted to trade childcare, and I didn't, but I would with a pet. And the difference between childcare and pets is with childcare, I didn't want to have to talk and entertain. I was already talking and entertaining with my own children. I didn't want to take on more of it.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather pay for someone to take care of my kids, like a nice teenager who would go play and have fun with them, so that I could be free to do the thing I wanted to do. But I did not want to swap that work. But interestingly enough, if I were to take care of someone's dog or cat, that would be a joy. And I think it's because I don't have to talk.
Well, it also, it depends on the animal, how well it's behaved and so forth. So you know what you're getting into, but taking care of another person's pet is fun. In fact, we're doing it again this weekend. We
Oh,
often um, take this deer hound. She's like, I call her the White Walker because she's got that White Walker face, those eyes, and she's silent and she looks scary as heck, and yet gorgeous and beautiful. And she is like more like a cat than a dog in that, like you hardly
stealthy.
hear, yes, and then you turn around and her face, because she's tall as tall. You turn and there's her face looking at you with those big eyes that are like, and yeah, but
Is this a breed? I've never heard
yes,
of a deerhound. Is
deer
it
hound.
like an Irish wolfhound but white?
It's an Irish Wolfhound like dog. It is one of the sighthounds. That's why how we know about her, because we have the greyhounds and the sighthound community knows each other. And so this dog is she loves to walk, she loves to run with her owner. But her biggest flaw is that she doesn't like to eat. She doesn't eat. And so when you only have her for, a weekend or 4 or 5 days, it's like, okay,
Oh,
as long as she gets some stuff, that's fine.
yeah,
I don't
that
have,
would be a little stressful.
at
Yeah.
first it was hard to, stress,
Mm-hmm.
but then
I
knowing
agree.
this is who she is, M's like, okay, it's only for 3 or 4 days.
You're
She can
right.
figure it
She's not
out.
going to
Yeah,
die.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you just kind of get over it and move on and yeah, and have the benefits of this wonderful dog that gets along with ours and we take him on a walk and everyone goes, "Oh, who is that? What is that?" And we've been able to go on some sighthound walks and take
Dear,
her to
dear.
yes, dear, dear. Dear, dear, dear. Misha. Dear Misha, yes.
Oh,
So,
Russian.
well, definitely maybe this will be the photo that we put on is Misha on the she's
Yeah, I'm
very photogenic.
fascinated.
Very amazing to look at. But um, so this, sharing your pet is a good option. But I'm thinking about when you're much older, say when you're bound into the home,
Mm-hmm.
that's when having a pet.
Mm.
That was weird. That was my watch talking to me.
Mine does that to
I
me. And I think
hate
it's when
that.
you press me too.
I didn't press anything.
Well, sometimes if I bend my wrist in an angle and it gets stuck in the bones or the
It's not. I don't
tissue,
have
it'll go off.
bones.
All
Okay,
right.
but
Sure,
anywho,
Sue.
they're so hidden by the tissue.
And the older I'm getting, the more tissue there is.
It's all crepey tissue. Anywho, no,
So you
seriously,
haven't gotten your wrist lift yet.
no. But actually, I do. I do PT for my. I've got arthritis, and so they make you do PT. It's a lot of
Mhm.
hand and wrist
Oh, that's true.
exercises.
Tennis ball things. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Okay. No,
see,
you were
this is
about to
another thing we
say
do in retirement is you talk about your ailments, right? So
your skin
we haven't done
folds.
too much of that. Although the last time
No.
you were talking about, okay, we're not going there. All right.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
No,
Then we'll have to put exploited or what explicit again.
every
All right, go ahead.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're an older person and you're more homebound,
More mature, wiser.
or maybe you're just traveling shorter distances too,
Yeah.
you can take your pet. Unless it's a bird, I guess you could take a bird in the car. But you can take your. I always think dog when I
I
think of
brought
pet.
goldfish. You just need a good tight
That's just
container.
creepy and
Put
weird.
it in the
Why would you put the poor animal through that? The
because
cup holder,
last time I
and then you
moved
drink
with
it.
yes, but no. But yeah, when I moved Maria up here in 2021 and she was in Reno and I would come and stay for a period of time, I didn't want to have fish cares. So I put him in the moo
Oh my
cow
God.
boba glass container with the lid on it and stuck him in my cup holder. And so, yeah, transporting your fish. So I was laughing at the bird comment, but as you're looking at me, you're looking at the fish comment and fish might be funnier, actually.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of so if you're dragging an animal around for your benefit only, it's different than if you
Right,
take your
that's right.
pet because they
Because
like to
it'll
be
die
out.
without
Yeah,
you.
when you're transporting them from place to place, that's different than, going on an adventure
Yeah,
together. But,
yeah,
for people who are more in their home or people who choose to stay in their home from the beginning, that's what they want to do,
true.
or want to travel with their pet. Pets are such a good thing because, um, the biggest one I can think of is that you're not so lonely. You've got someone else to care for and who is right there giving you love unconditionally. They just look at you and love you. And who wouldn't want that is what I'd say. Now, if you're not a pet person, you don't want to change their cat box or clean up their poop or whatever, or you can't do it, then that's different. But if you enjoy your pet, then yeah, absolutely, it's a benefit.
I look at Gigi, my COVID dog. It was a COVID adoption. And I think about how I haven't had a real job for an extended period of time for, leaving every morning, coming at night. I don't know that I could have done it without her. Like, I really feel that I stayed mentally balanced because I had this companion with me and our relationship is tight. And sometimes, Sue, I look at her and she starts limping out of the blue, like she's starting to have health problems
Mm-hmm.
and aging. It's just aging. And I look at her and I could just burst out in tears because I really can't imagine not having my life with her, you know? And so every day I calm myself down and say, you got her today. On the other hand, last night, I had a really long day. We exercised a lot. I finally brushed my teeth, took a shower. I'm ready to get comfy and watch TV. And what does she want to do? Go outside and go to the bathroom. So then I thought, oh God, now I have to get up, put on my jacket, get the poop bag, walk down the stairs, wait for her to go. And that's when you realize, like, wow, it'll be kind of nice not to have that responsibility where I can just relax and not worry about having to take her out in the cold no matter when, you know. So it's such a trade-off sometimes, but I know that if I didn't have her, I would want a pet. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you have a pet, you're like, I would love to not have a pet because it's a big
It
responsibility,
sure is.
especially at the later stages.
Yeah. It sure
Yeah.
is. And if you have a human to keep you company that feels the same way and but takes care of themselves, that's great. But then again, even with humans, you've got to take care of them. And there's a lot
It's
about
true.
there's a lot about
No,
it,
it's true. I hadn't thought
Right.
about it,
Well,
but you're
and
right.
there are people who, their kids move out, move along, and they maybe lose their partner, and they're by themselves, and it's not to have someone to care for is important, and the burden
That's true.
is familiar, and and so it's not overwhelming, and what they give in return is usually so big, but
Hopefully.
yeah, and if it becomes a problem for you, physically to be able to do things, then I understand how you have to give that up and how hard it is. I remember visiting my friend once who was in a rehabilitation place, and they had old folks there, and some of the people had little fake cats that or dogs. They were like made with real fur, and they had them on their laps, and they were petting them and talking to because people were had dementia or whatever, and they were talking to the cat or the dog, and it was like their real thing. I mean, I had to do a double take because
Wow.
it looked like a real pet. And if you have dementia and you believe that's your pet and it's alive, what a wonderful
That's
thing.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, and I've seen people do that with babies too. They have baby dolls. They want a baby, and
I saw that too.
yeah, and I think there is something in us that wants to nurture. Now, I haven't seen men sitting around doing that, but
No,
we
I
women,
didn't either
we
in the
women
places.
want to
Yes.
nurture, and that some of us it's a stronger urge than others, and
Hmm.
if that's your thing and you need to nurture, then what a wonderful thing to have your fake fur pet or your baby doll or whatever. Maybe not be ever fall into dementia.
During the Christmas holidays or the winter holidays, I went into Home Depot and Maria's niece was going to come and she's into this jellyfish phase. So there was this little fish tank with these jellyfish going up and down and all around, and they were fake. And ironically, I thought, perhaps I will take a gap year and just go get jellyfish, fake jellyfish, where I will personify them, name them, talk to them, and never have to clean their cage, but still have the companionship, kind of like your stuffed cat. Not a bad idea.
Okay. Take a gap year?
Yeah, before I run out and find a dog,
Oh, you meant
you
okay, in
know?
pets. I thought you were like, I'm gonna quit everything and just have a jellyfish. I mean,
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
what the
no, no.
heck are we
Okay,
talking
sorry.
about?
Yeah,
Okay,
no. Well, we were talking about pets, so I just thought if I were to lose, or if I'm fortunate to lose, because otherwise it's me being gone, um, my Gigith, I don't know that I should really run out and find another
no.
pet.
I think some people do that, but a lot of us don't. And I think taking a beat, does honor to that animal, and it gives you a sense of loss for what you don't have, but
Yeah,
also what the positive of what, not the responsibility for a while and to process it. I mean, it's kind of like if you lose a family member, are you going to go out and get another
Yeah.
one? I mean, some people
But you know,
do.
many men do,
Some people,
mostly
well,
men.
yeah,
They
because you
get
need someone
married
to take
within
care of you.
weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone else to take care of all the things because the house is going to get cleaned and all the food made and
Oh, my lunch. Exactly. Who's
yeah.
going to provide me fried eggs?
Oh God, don't get me started on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Change.
We could talk about that one for a long while, couldn't we? No,
Yes, but it would only spiral me into an abyss that I don't choose to relive.
no. So I
Back
think
to the pet.
I was just also going to say before you wrap up on this jellyfish thing,
Mm,
just from personal experience, whenever you deal with a pet with water, it's a lot of work. Taking
it
care of the
is a lot
water
of
is a
work.
lot of work. So just be aware of that. If you're thinking it's a
My
low
kids,
maintenance pet,
no, it's
no.
not.
So
It's not. It's actually very stressful. There are two ways that I would do that. I would love to have one of those gorgeous aquariums, but then I would want the aquarium care service, where they would come and take care of it. Or there are these like sucking fish that like you can buy if they're compatible and they suck all the scum off the sides. I don't know if that's something that you could use completely.
but they
If it
make
were
their
that
own poop.
probably everyone,
They make their
right,
own
that's
poop
true.
too, and that's in there. And
Yeah,
yeah, so
there's
there's
no way
it's
around it.
when yeah, it's a
Back to
whole
the
ecosystem. It's
jellyfish.
a whole
Back to
ecosystem.
the jellyfish, the mechanical jellyfish that looks so real.
The mechanical one. There we
Right?
go. Yeah.
And then, yeah, oh, did I not say that? So at Home Depot, it was fake. That's what was so wonderful about it. I'd never have to change that water. That water could be there forever,
And yet you would
forever.
because the water itself is its own entity. The dust in the air and all the things, it's going to get
Well, no,
bacteria.
it's enclosed. It's
Oh,
capped. It's like
okay.
it's completely a sealed unit. You know what
Oh,
it
that's
reminded me of?
exciting.
It was like a lava lamp, a see-through lava lamp with jellyfish going up and down.
How
It's the
about
same concept.
how about you just open your window and look at the birds that come and go?
Oh, I
Put a put a
could.
bird feeder out
Bird
there if you want.
feeder.
You'd have to clean
No,
it
that's
though.
a
You'd
great
have to clean
idea.
it. But or just watch the birds or watch the insects or the slugs that walk across I mean, there are things you can do if that's what you want. But back to the benefits of pets.
Wait, no, I love your idea. We have to rewind. It's almost like this way of thinking. That's why it's so important to be with other people who can see things differently. Sue, isn't it silly? You're right. Open up the window. Every day I see birds. I hear birds. They're always there.
Mhm.
So
I
you're
love
right.
my
I can look at them
hummingbirds.
as exterior pets.
Yeah. Who's in the tank? You or them? Good question.
Oh, that's good,
That's the
Sue.
title of our
Yep.
episode.
Who's in
Who's
the
in the
tank? I
tank?
like that.
No, I love my hummingbirds uh
I do too.
and they're so fun. And then even when I go for a walk in the neighborhood, you hear them flitting around. I mean, you're just become very aware of them and seeing them. That sounds like a horse. Seeing
It
them,
did. But they
seeing
have that.
that flit sound,
Yeah.
hearing seeing them build their nest and the little babies, grow and everything. It's all great. It's wonderful. I love that
And the
little.
itty bitty eggs the size of a
Oh,
fingernail.
they're
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 so
so cute.
cute.
Yeah. So your pet doesn't have to be in the house. It can be part of
Right.
nature outdoor out your door.
Right.
Yeah.
I just would have to name it and pay attention to which ones are the ones that belong to my hood.
Yeah, like I don't want the mice and the rats and so forth. So we'll
Oh,
pass on those. But
gosh, no.
all right. Pets.
Yeah,
Emotional benefits. They give you a sense of purpose and that nurturing thing, right? They give you a daily structure too. I don't know about you, but
they
my
do.
my Mimi, she knows what time it is and what
Mm-hmm.
activity is supposed to happen, and if it's not happening, she's tapping her toe saying, "Hey, hey,
Yep.
hey, come on now.
Hello.
It's time for
Mm-hmm.
my afternoon snack, and I'd like it now." And it gives her so much pleasure. And then
So true.
yeah. Or so the structure is really nice because if you're maybe maybe you are at home and you're stuck at home and you're feeling that way, this would help you provide that structure for yourself too. It gives you reason to move beyond. So for people who are struggling, this can be really helpful.
I have to interject something about routines, and it really depends on the pet. So I have a feral Carl cat, and it is a scary experience because he gets violent. So
Yeah, I
if
don't
you
want that.
don't pay attention to him, he will bite you. He will bite your leg. And so I walk in fear. So
Yeah,
he's
no.
actually a bully. He bullies me into the correct type of food at the correct time. And I don't feel bullied by my Great Dane
Yeah,
at all.
no.
But my cat
I'm
scares
not a
me.
cat person. I'm not a cat person. We'll talk about that later. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah, if your cat scares you, why in the hell is it in the house?
Because he's really cool.
Okay.
He's cool at the same time. You have to learn to work with him. It's learning how to deal with another relationship. It's
Right.
adaptation.
Right. And
You know,
but
he's
it's
not
chosen.
hurt.
It's not
Well, you know, you can't just adopt your kid and like drop him back off.
right.
Like I adopted this baby boy. I made the commitment, you know, so I have to work with this. I have to
I
work with
I
this.
always liked when you go to adopt an animal from the animal shelter. They said, "Well, if the animal doesn't work out, you can bring him back within a week." And so you have to see if that animal's going to be a fit
It's a
for
fit, but
you.
how do you know when you get a kitten? He
Well,
was cute.
right. Well, it's up
He
to you
was
to
safe.
it's up to you to train it
So I
then.
took the gamble.
Mm, okay. Well,
But I have learned to speak more Carl. And to be honest with you, he has not attacked me in a long time because I have my squirt gun out. And so he respects me. I squirt him with water. That's
well,
how I've trained him.
I understand a lot of cats are that way. But
Yeah.
yeah. Here's the other thing I was going to mention about pets and retirement. Um, if it's been a lifelong love of pets, then it's likely that you'll want to continue that. But it's also a
Yeah.
time to say, hey, this is a time that's totally just about me, and you could give that up for a time, but and know that you can always find another pet. It's not hard to do. I know a lot of people are concerned about having a pet that outlives them, and so it's about
A
also
lot of
having
people think about that. Yeah.
yeah, and so again, kind of like I'll watch your pet, you watch mine. Have somebody or an organization in mind. It's one of the nice things about getting a rescue dog is
Oh,
because the rescue organization will usually have a way to help you help that pet find another household if that happens to you. Um, so
okay.
that's the thing
I
is
have to go back to that topic. The topic of perhaps you shouldn't have a pet because you may not, your pet may outlive you. And I fundamentally disagreed with this because there are so many pets being put to sleep. A, rescue one, right? It's going to be put to sleep. Give it
you
a
mean
chance at life.
euthanized?
Yes.
Yeah. And this thing of putting it
So,
to
so
sleep, it's
this
not being put to sleep, it's being euthanized, folks.
euthanized, but that has always bothered me. And it started with my mother in law, and it was the same thing. As she got older, she desperately wanted to have cats, but wouldn't get one for fear constantly of dying before the pet.
Right.
But that's always bothered me. And number two, we have to look at living as a gift each day, both of us, because one of the things that does calm me down is I look at Gigi and think, who knows? I'm sitting here grieving her dying before she's died. Who knows what could happen to me today if I got into a car accident?
Knock
So
on
am
wood.
I actually going to deprive myself of this pet experience because there is the possibility that I will die before my pet? That it doesn't make sense
Right.
to me. I understand, but you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know.
Yeah, it's important to weigh your responsibility to the animal, and if you're concerned about that, then to set up a something so that your
Yeah.
that pet is taken care of. I mean, that's your
Yep.
responsibility. You would do that for a child, so it's the same thing
Yeah,
for a
you
pet.
would.
And again, whether you got your pet from a rescue organization or not, there are groups out there that will help that, and there are people who specialize in older pets too who
I
will
know. I
help,
love that.
yeah,
Yep.
hospice for pets, and they do that, and it's because of their love of animals, and if you're a lifelong lover of animals, the people are willing to do that, but you got to be responsible about it. You can't be, this is all about me, having a pet's all about me. It's about taking care of this animal and treating it as family. So what I wanted to say though, it's like, so you, as a retired person, you're putting on new tread. You maybe you've been a pet person all your life and you decide not to, so you have this freedom to go do things. You might also, it might also work out the other way around. Like you've not been a pet person all your life, and here's an opportunity to do that. And
Because you have more time,
yep,
maybe more patience,
yep.
more skill,
Well,
more financial security,
exactly. Well, it does.
maybe.
There's a lot of finance to having a pet too, if you're going
Mm-hmm.
to do it right, especially the pet care.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hard time adapting to that idea of this, paying money for someone to watch your pet, and it's become so expensive nowadays.
It does. It's insane.
And yet, if it were a child,
You,
yeah. But see, then
yeah.
we're these Americans that have all this privilege to do that with our pets. Rather, anyhow, I go around in circles thinking about those things. But what I was going to say was, I read a little story on this side about not being a pet person all your life. My mother was not a pet person all her life. She apparently had been chased or bit by a dog when she was little. My mom had a Cocker Spaniel when she was little, and the dog got off leash and was hit by a car, so that was traumatic for her. So between being bit and the dog dying in a traumatic way, she kind of was anti pets.
Pet.
And then, of course, she had children who wanted pets. I mean, most kids do. Most people love the pets. And so we were only allowed fish. That's why I know about water. Fish, and we had turtles. We had turtles back in the day when it was horrible, where they had those plastic lagoons, and
Yep.
the poor turtles couldn't get under the water. They needed to be fully underwater to eat.
We
And
didn't
so,
know.
yes, we did not. And so we had a lot of those funerals down the toilet. It was horrible. With fish, well, fish, that was a different story, but fish that ate each other. And I mean, the fish that the little containers that they had their babies in their little separate containers, because we learned that other fish would eat the
Yes.
babies. And
Is this the beta?
you learn so many things. No, I never
Yeah.
had a beta, but we
No.
learned so many things about
Yeah.
animals and,
You
and
do.
life cycle and stuff. Finally, I got a bird. I remember I had a bird that was delightful. I learned to, taught it to talk ish, and it would fly in the house and stuff like that. But anyhow, mom never let us have a cat or a dog, which, a proper pet. And she just kind of, dad helped us with the pets that we had. Mom, that was not mom's thing. She had a lot on
Mm-hmm.
her tray already with 4 kids and a husband. So there you
Oh
go.
God. Yeah.
But so when she got older, she got dementia, and I would come over and visit uh, from up here in California down to Arizona. Did a road trip, took my dog, and my parents said yes, you can bring the dog, which was very unusual. But she would like to have my little honey dog. It was a little Chihuahua Doxy
Oh.
mix sit on her lap, and it was warm, and she could pet it. And I had to watch her though, because she had dementia. She didn't know what she was doing all the time. She might like try to scrunch it too
Poke the
much.
eyeballs on
Well, not the
accident.
poke the
Yeah.
eyeballs, but scrunch that fur too hard or whatever. Or if so you had to be careful with. But it's like these therapy dogs. They're such wonderful things, even for people who are not dog lovers or cat lovers, who haven't had that experience in their life. To have that opportunity
I
as
agree.
a retired person, what a cool thing. So I just wanted to share that little story.
That's a nice story. Yeah. I had a similar childhood, but far more deprived than yours. So my mother had two
You mean deprived of
dislikes.
pets?
Yep.
Because I did not have a deprived life
Yeah,
childhood.
no, deprived of pets. My mother hated sand from the beach, so I never went. And she hated pet fur. Those were her phobias. So that pretty much eliminated pets. Like as you said, the proper pet.
Well, and
But
for you, you're an only child. That was important.
it was even worse.
Yeah.
So I remember getting Mexican jumping beans. Maybe that's where the personification began. And that was all. She wouldn't even let me have a goldfish. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's because she thought it was one more responsibility and she would have to be the one to take it
Right.
responsibly. And
Literally.
so
Yeah.
I think it was more that, because why else would you care if your kid had a goldfish? So anyway, I didn't get my first pet, and it was by accident and by bribery. There was a cat that came along. I was probably about 10 or 11, and so I went every day inside and brought it out lunch meat, and I brought it out milk, and I snuck it. And so it stayed with me for the first summer, and then it disappeared, and I thought she would be gone forever. And then the next year she came back, and she lived her entire life with me from that point forward. And my parents fed her. We got vaccinations. She was only an outside cat, and she had an incredible shedding problem, of course. Her fur was terrible, and my dad would swear and he was always the kind man, but there was fur everywhere in his garage, and he used his garage, to fix the equipment that he had. But anyway, I did not then get my first dog until I was married, and I didn't get my first cat until I was married. And yeah, I feel like I was deprived, but I did get a goldfish in college. I got a rat in college and a guinea pig. Yeah. And I tried a rabbit in the dorms, but we got threatened to be kicked out. So that
As well
didn't
you
last
should.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting how young people just get out into the world. They want to get a pet because they haven't had it, and
Right.
then
They were deprived.
they don't know how to necessarily take care of it or realize how expensive it is, how much responsibility it is. But did you know, by the way, quote, those Mexican jumping beans are not jumping beans. Those are little larvae. Had your mother known it was a little larva, would she have wanted it?
Yes,
it's going
because
to,
it made me
it's
happy.
a moth.
Yes, but it was stuck in the bean.
Okay.
And it was stuck in the container of the bean.
Oh, jeez. So you guys didn't, they're supposed to come with a little drill in it so the larva can get out and the moth can go off and live its life.
Yeah, I never saw that happen. they stopped jumping.
Dead larva inside a seed. Thanks for listening. Now let's pack up this week's episode in the trunk.
Ride shotgun and be a part of our adventure by clicking on the plus sign to follow our show. This will help our ratings and, more importantly, inspire us to keep creating fun and engaging content. We would love to hear from you in the comment sections or email us at retiredpodcastnewtread@gmail.com. Use the fast track lane by sharing episodes with friends, family, and anyone who would like to join us on our road trip through retirement.
Be sure to check the show notes for links and contact information. Retired is chauffeured by Sue Britz and Tina Lokkbakk. It is produced, directed, and edited by me, Sue Britz. Music and graphics are by me too. Buckle up and tune in next week so that you won't miss your chance to join our
retired road trip.
That
was completely out of sync.
Oh.